Well, today we're going to make a Santa-themed doormat for the Dollhouse front porch. Stay tuned and see how fun and easy this project is. All right, the first step to making our doormat is just like every month we are going to prepare our base that we're going to create our doormat on. And what I've got here is a piece of felt. It's cut 1.5 by 2.5 inches. There's lots of details about this in the blog post, so be sure and follow the link in the description box to the blog post for this video. So where I explain to you all about what this felt is, why we're doing it this way. But basically what I'm doing is I'm going to coat the piece of felt with a nice thick coat of matte Mod Podge. Matte Mod Podge does a couple of things here. I won't do the whole thing on camera probably, just one side, and you can see it takes a lot. In fact, I'm just going to squirt some on there. This is going to seal the felt so that our paints don't soak in, so we get a nice clear design. It's also going to make this stiff so it won't roll up, and it will stay in place in front of the door of your dollhouse so that every time a little breeze happens, or every time someone walks by your dollhouse, your doormat doesn't just fly away. So this will need to dry. It will take a while, and I do recommend coming back and picking it up and moving it around a couple of times and flattening it out, just to make sure it doesn't stick to whatever work surface you're working on. Just be sure it's something that is not, that it won't stick permanently to. Like I use a ceramic tile, you could use parchment paper. I wouldn't do this on a wood table or something like that. Do it on someplace where you can easily get it off again. So when this is dry, I'll be back and we can move on to the design process. All right, this is thoroughly dried, and as you can see, it's nice and firm. It won't blow around, it won't come apart. So I have some apple red. You'll want a nice red color. All the paints we're using today, as well as the Mod Podge, were sent to me by Plaid and the brushes to do videos for you guys. So a big thank you to them again. And I'm going to freehand this. I'm not even going to draw it out. And this particular design, we don't need to worry about a background color. We're going to go right with our brown color. Now, if you used a different color felt, you could paint your background, or if you want a different color. I've got a picture of a doormat that I'm using for inspiration off to the side. And I'm not an artist. I am not a painter. I break this down into very, very simple shapes. And there will be close-up photos of each step of the doormat on the blog post. So you can go over there and get a good look at what this shape was that I painted. And I'm just using the paint that's in the lid of the paint jar today. I know there's nothing on my doormat that I can get into my brush to hurt my paint. Once I get working with paints that are going to be against other paints I've painted, then I will be putting out paint to work with. All right. I think that will work. All right. So I'm going to go a little further down. Just a little bit. So we can kind of move these so they come in. All right, I'm going to call that good. I'm going to let this paint dry. When this is dry, I'll come back and we will add the next step. All right, our red has dried somewhat. So we're going to do the black boots now, because these, in case I didn't mention, these are Santa's legs. I have apple barrel in black, and I have a brush, and I am going to attempt to leave a space for the the trim on Santa's legs to be, he's going to have his feet kind of crossed here. I'm kind of drawing a rectangle here first. But the red is not completely dry, and I want the white to be over both of these, so it works out. And we don't have to be perfect. And since that other boot is kind of behind, we won't worry about the heel. Santa's boot is going to come off the edge there. And there we go. So Santa now has a pair of boots. And like I said earlier, there will be a photo on the blog post of this step so you can get a better idea of what the shape is. When this dries, I'll come back and we'll add some more details. All right, I think my paint is pretty dry, so now I've got some white apple barrel and another brush, a nice clean brush. And we're going to put that fur trim that Santa always has on his Santa suit. But as you can see, these are all just really simple shapes that I'm doing. Nothing fancy. There. And now I've got just a tiny bit of this brushed metal and brushed gold. And I'm going to add just a very simple buckle to Santa's shoe. Make it look a little fancy. There, now that just needs to dry, and then we can put it in front of the dollhouse door and see how it looks. So I'll be right back. Well, I placed our doormat in front of the door on the beachside bungalow, and I've got it set up with the two projects that we made last year, the Santa Stop Here sign and the Santa's mailbox. Links for both of those projects will be in the blog post. I love how this turned out. It's a really simple design on the doormat, but I think it just goes really well, and I can't wait to add some more Santa-themed items to our dollhouse front porch. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, hit the like button, leave me a comment. What kinds of things would you like to see in future tutorials? If you enjoy my content and haven't subscribed, I encourage you, hit that subscription button and the notification bell so you know when I put up my next video. Thank you very much for watching today, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.